Prior to moving on to step 3, I first want to correct myself in a mistake I made in what I was speaking as opposed to what I was writing in the last video. I wanted to point out in the last step when I first stated that 150x plus 100y was less than or equal to 0 as opposed to 1200, even though I wrote the 1200. So I wanted to correct that. And I also said we have a system of equations. I should have said system of inequalities. That being said, we're going to move on to step 3. And so we have to graph a resulting system of inequalities. Our graphing of x is greater than or equal to 0, y is greater than or equal to 0. The nice part is that is already done for us because that is our x and y axis. So I'm just going to mark that so I know. With relationship to our other two inequalities, we need to get those into slope-intercept form. So I'm first going to take my x plus y less than or equal to 10, and I want to solve this for y. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. That's going to give me y is less than or equal to negative x plus 10. Then I'm going to take our second inequality that we had of 150x plus 100y less than or equal to 1200, and I'm going to solve this one for y as well, subtracting 150x from both sides, giving me 100y is less than or equal to negative 150x plus 1200. And I apologize for writing into the margin. Then I want to divide both sides by 100. Remember, I'm dividing by a positive, so I do not need to flip the sign. That results in y is less than or equal. Negative 150 divided by 100 is negative 3/2 x. And 1200 divided by 100 is 12. So I actually have some really nice problems to work with. So the first one I'm going to graph, and I'm going to graph it in red, is going to be my y is less than or equal to negative x plus 10. Using every square representing 1, I have here, go up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We have a y-intercept of 10 and a negative 1 slope. And so I get the picture here where I'm going to have a solid line right straight down here. And I'm going to put in my extra points that'll help me with identifying my point of intersection, since that was the #1 question off the Google form. And I apologize, I should really have it out here, so let me correct my line. And it says it is less than, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. And that is going to be everything below, because if I put in 0, I get a true statement. And then I can go ahead and graph my second line. And so I have a y-intercept of 12. So I will graph 12. And then I have a slope of negative 3 over 2, down 3 over 2, and I just found one of my points of intersection, down 3, forward 2, and down 3, forward 2. So when I draw my line, I have this, and this 2 is also less than, and if I put in 0, 0, I do get a true statement, which means that when I highlight my overall area that I need, it's going to extend here in this region. It's less than the blue line, but also less than the green line. So now I got a funky tie-dyed looking square. and it's right in that region. So now I need to identify my corners of my region, and if I look here, I see that clearly one of my corners is right here at the origin, which would be 0, 0. I also have this region here, which is at 0, 10. I also have the point of intersection right here, which if I count is over 4 and up 6, so 4, 6, as well as this point here, which if I count over is at 8, 0. So now that I have my 4 corners, in the next video we're going to write our equation, and then we're going to maximize our equation to get our final solution.